Ball out. Ball out.
Bow, bow. Bow, bow.
Ball out.
Bow,
Ball out.
bow. All we do is bow.
Ball out.
Bow, bow, bow.
Ball out. Ball out.
Ball out.
Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out. Dropping by the mall out. Come deliver mail on y'all route. Show them what it's all about. Just get called out. Fall out. Me and my clique, we don't fall out. Me and my chick, we don't fall out. We minding our business, keep y'all out. Break up, get up quick, then we hit licks till it's all out. I hate my job, I'ma call out. Boss of myself, y'all thought. I'm a recruiter, a high percentage shooters. Gotta keep rifles and Rugers. Some people just trifling and losers. Watch for the jackets at night, they be cruising. I can put together. A.R. Kinston Yetter. My hitters be tough in the leather. Can't nobody do it better. Glock 9 with the F in. Step in with my best friend. Best friend Smith and West End. If you miss 6, still catch 10. Ball out. Stall out. Pulling up outside the y'all house. Empty till we all out. I got the juice and I'm crazy. If you not a killer, don't say. Hit squad ain't nothing to play with. Undertaker and a grave dig. Best man like Tate Diggs. When you in the paint, gotta play big. Hitters ignorant like cavemen. Went from good fella to made men. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Shout out, ball out, get called out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out.
We're back.
Ball out.
Boss Cowboy Sports.
Me and my hitters go all out.
Late night edition. We're back in the building. There's more from the OTAs and minicamp. The OC and Boss Cowboy in the building. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Don't forget to hit the bell notification icon on Facebook, YouTube. Also follow us on Twitter. Hey, Boss Cowboy, we have some unfinished business. We didn't get a chance to finish all of this dialogue we had last night. So we back at it to get the people what they need, the latest and greatest in Cowboys news.
Yeah, man, it was incomplete. It's a lot of stuff that's going on that we didn't really get a chance to talk about. So we felt like it would have been best to kind of break it up. We hardly ever go on Thursdays, but you know, it's a lot that happened, and it's a lot that's going on, and we want to kind of shed light on it, and we're going to kind of showcase also a lot that's up and coming. We got a brand new show that's also getting ready to be a very big thing. We got all the commitments. We got all the days locked in. You want to talk about that real quick, OC?
Yeah, so coming up, man, really soon will be The Last Word. It'll be Boss Cowboy Sports, myself, Boss Cowboy, Big Game James, The Law Nation, all united, man, to bring you guys the latest and the greatest on Cowboy sports, calling it The Last Word, man. So it'll be a very unique, special show, and you guys want to tune in for that and keep a lookout for it.
Right. And and I talked to the OC. We got. Make sure y'all go check out the show from yesterday that we did. It's something that it's getting a lot of endorsements from a lot of people that I frankly greatly respect. So first we go show y'all exactly what we talking about. So you know, so this is the show for today, but the show from yesterday is what we want y'all to check out, and I'll display that in a minute. Go ahead, OC.
Yeah, I mean, so one of the things that, you know, we really got into heavy was the nuances off of the base front, all right? We talked about the 4-3 defense two shows ago. And so this past show, we got into a key nuance and something that, from everything that we understand, gave the offense tons of problems, which was the 4-3 under front. which looks like a 5-2, can even look like a 3-4, depending upon how you position the defensive ends. But we talked about the combinations and the rotations of the linebackers. We talked about Neal. We talked about rushing Micah Parsons, which I've been a huge fan of from day one. Since draft night, I hope that we rush this guy. Ever since his press conference with the LT earring, hey, I'm hoping we rush this guy. Let this guy get after the quarterback. And we talked about Randy Gregory, him playing the Sam linebacker position, and much, much more. So if you guys are not caught up, this will help you get caught up to what we're going to finish talking about today if you go back and check out that show.
Right. And so just real quick, this is the show. Go to YouTube. That's where you go find it. And we teased it. We first asked the question, is Dan Quinn building a super pass rush defense? Now, the OC and I know Wednesday is like game time for almost all the podcasters. All of us, for whatever reason, have all picked together Wednesday for whatever reason. So, but as my brothers begin to catch up, and you know, finish their own shows, their own commitments, the endorsements started rolling in. It first came in from my brother Bluff, and he's actually on right now. Has a fire show. I think he on with George Teague. So he doing his thing. But he said for anybody who is a Cowboys podcaster, national grassroots, put us all on notice to step our game up last night. Episode and breakdown. If you get a free hour, tune in. So obviously I was like, yeah, man, because I got a lot of respect for Bluff. A lot of respect, but it didn't stop. Then the big homie Jake Tuck hit me, and on Twitter he was like, hey, my guy, Boss Cowboy Sports, had a fire show breaking down Dan Quinn's scheme. Because I said, when I finished, I said, this is one of the best shows we've ever done. Like, for sure. I knew it just from content. And then Rome told all the people that follow him, tap in, you know. And then even about 2 hours ago, the big homie, Skywalker, you know, and I know Sky is very slow to, like, come around. He's not going to drink Kool-Aid fast. He's going to he go sip it like cognac, OC. He go sip it slow. You know, he goes
sophisticated flow. He's not a beer drinker. He's a fine liquor drinker. You know, that's who Skywalker is. He's a fine spirits drinker. You know, short glass, just a small little taste. He's good.
Right. And then see, now I turned on my chat so I can see my boy West Coast in the building. The OG.
What's up, West Coast?
Yeah, man. Let me get that chat stuff working real quick where we can showcase this.
And I'm still working on that West Coast, man. It's just been not as easy as expected, brother. So just know I'm still on it, bro. I'll circle back with you ASAP.
Yeah, man. That boy West Coast be having boys working all the way from the West Coast to the Dallas, Texas, man. You know he always got a master plan, but I got to get my boy in the building. So there he is right there. So we got my boy West Coast in the building. We also got my boy Buddha Streets in the building, man. Give me a second. He talking about, let's talk about the future Hall of Famer Nashon Wright. Yeah. Hey, and I got you, Buddha. I got you. We doing that too. Now listen, I didn't want to finish the endorsements because we had I'm gonna just tell you, the guy that actually sparked it all. I got to give him special credit. Even though I definitely said it a lot, sometimes you want to do a little bit better. Okay. My boy Matt on, you know, the whole 4-3 under concept of us doing a show about it yesterday came from him. Like, in terms of, he sent me an inbox over it, and I was like, okay, sounds good, man. This stuff looks good. And I started researching, and I was like, bro, yes, you right. So y'all make sure y'all also follow Matt on, Professor O. So listen, when you get that many endorsements, bro, in the podcast community all in one day, it is real, bro. It is, I would say, one of the best jobs we've done, OC. Following behind the research of Matt and I just want to explain, man, this is how the game works. I get concepts from other people. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I talk to West Coast every 3 days. I'm going to tell you right now, when I get off the phone from talking to him, or if I talk to the OC, if I talk to anybody and we talking ball, it's going to likely be on the show. Yeah. Some of the stuff we talking about today come from me talking to Buddha and West Coast earlier this week. That's how it works, bro. But it's good because see, when you do that, OC, and I want you to talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
You getting a post when you getting good contact from real friends and brothers you know football. My boy Pete in the building, but it's gonna be a good day, man. I got the Pete OG in the building. Go ahead, OC.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, listen, man. We have a best ideals win culture here at Best Boss Cowboy Sports, man. So we go bring all the kids and let all the kids jump in the pool. You know, now if you pee in the pool, we got to take you out of the pool. But if you're good in the pool, we let you stay in the pool. And so if it's a good ideal, man, if it's something that's viable that can help the team, help us chase 6, man, we with it, we're about it, we go talk about it, and we're willing to explore that angle, to explore that concept, man. And that's what you go get here, man. A lot of free thinking, a lot of creative thoughts here at Boss Cowboy Sports, man. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to comment, all right?
And, you know, they tired of all this, you know, nice stuff. They want to get to the ball. We go get to the ball right now, bro. So Chuck said this, which basically we go lead off the show with you because Buddha talked about this. Now you talking about this, Chuck. That means we getting ready to talk about this. Where he said, go look at your draft day notes. Nashon Wright is a super steal. I told y'all. Okay, let's talk about that. What you got on that, OC?
Yeah, man, Nashon Wright, man, is a long guy that has ball skills, man. Long, tall guy has ball skills. He was noted as making some plays in the OTAs, and I think that, man, he's going to be a contributor on this team. Now, I don't know if Nashon Wright is a guy that's going to start day one or anything like that. I'm not going that far, but I'm saying as a rotational player and as a guy that should get a lot of run in the preseason, you'll see him a whole lot. And based upon how the rest of the nuances, right, because we got more to talk about that, the rest of the nuances with this defense go, then you may see him on the field in certain packages. And that's what I think you go get out of him, at least for the first half of the season. Now, barring injury, anything can happen, but I think he's a good, solid draft pick, man. Long, tall guy that can make plays on the football.
Yeah. Now, like I said, a lot of content come from me talking to people. I was talking to my boy Buddha, and people really getting out there, man. People are starting to put in the right over boss, and and my boy Buddha raised a good point, bro. I'm gonna give him his flowers for this. You know, we just talking about. He said, you know, Jordan Lewis was a third rounder that had a better rookie year than Cheeto. Valid point. So, you know, so we got a lot of people that's rooting for Wright. But that's true. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna put this on record right now.
Put it on record.
On record, bro. You don't play when I put it on record, bro. I be dead serious when I put it on record, homeboy.
Put it on record.
I'm on record. I was wrong if he work out. I was wrong. You know? So then it would come down to why was I wrong? Right? Because from me looking at it, I didn't see it. I did say reach. I never thought that he was really that much of a reach. And if you remember going back to draft day, Boss Cowboy, something I said about the guy, the pedigree for all these defensive players, especially in the defensive backfield, were long, tall, athletic dudes that had ball skills. He's a guy that has ball skills. He's a guy that's long and athletic. Yeah, there's technical nuance. Yeah, there's things he needs to clean up in terms of footwork. Absolutely. That's why he lasted to where he did. But in terms of him being athletic, him being having a dog mentality and being able to make plays on the football, that he can do. And so I think that that's a thing that, depending upon who he's playing against, that's going to translate well to the NFL. Of course, he's a pup. He's going to need some time to develop, but his height, his length, and him maybe putting on some man weight, that's a very interesting proposition, Boss Cowboy. And I thought that from the jump. Yeah. Nah, it's one of those things to where I'm on record, and I would say this. I was very upset at our cornerback coach because I kept feeling like look, man, you tried the big corner stuff. We saw this. I saw this, right? You brought out all the big corners last offseason, and I'm telling you why I felt like they reached. You know what I mean? Because you brought out all the big corners last year, and they got beat out. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, are you forcing it? You know what I mean? But if I came down on him like that, I also got to turn around and say, you know what? If you coaching this guy up, then I also got to publicly say, hey, bro, you might be right on your 6'4" corners. Because if it start working, I can't knock you. But I would knock you if it didn't work again. I'd be like, bro, we need to put the hot seat on you, boy. But right now, I got to take it because it's like, if he making noise and getting interceptions almost every practice, which we both know don't happen.
No,
that don't happen.
That don't happen.
You making plays.
Yeah, you making plays, homie. And I want to let you explain it. I was gonna jump in and say something.
No, you explain.
But what did Yeah, I mean, so here's the deal, man. If you're making interceptions every single practice, it's two things that's going on. You're understanding what's happening to you before it happens. In other words, you're jumping the routes, right? You're understanding what that receiver's about to do before he does it. Okay, number one.
Okay.
Number two, you're making really, really good timing plays on that football with your hands and more than likely your body in the proper position. Those are the two things that's happening, and that's what you need, in my opinion, Boss Cowboy, to be a good cover corner. Now, I'm going to kick it to you from there, but that's what I see in this situation.
Yeah, I would say that's one thing that he does very well that you couldn't deny from him in college is attack the football. You know what I mean? So there are people that have a knack for that. There are people that got a nose for that. And sometimes you'll give up imperfect technique players for guys who got that particular trait.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you ain't got to be perfect. But if you got a knack for turning around and grabbing that ball, I'm cool. Because how many times was a Wuze in place and all he had to do was turn around and get the ball? But then you got a guy that does that and make it look easy. And I'm going to tell you, since we start talking about the different ways you can get interceptions. So the different ways you can get interceptions is first cerebral and likely mostly mental, because one way to get interceptions is what they used to teach us is called reading the 3-step of the quarterback, right? So when you're dealing with a West Coast defensive coach, what they're going to teach you is a 3-step generally meant 90% of the time that the route was going to either be a slant or a stop route or a bubble screen. It was something where the ball had to come out quick. Okay? So when you looking in and anticipating it from the quarterback and you see him stop, like he take one step and stop, that's called a 3-step. So you can actually sit on that. See, most corners don't think like that, so they miss out on that interception opportunity. Another way interceptions happen is battling for the football. So that's where you can finally put yourself in a good position, but you got to be freed up to attack the ball. And you want to attack the football. You, at some point when the ball is in the air, you got to say, that's my ball. So some people are just good at that, and I would say that's Nashon Wright. The other way corners generally get interceptions is zone intelligence. So they know how to bait you in different zone situations. So like at a cover 3, I know I might be going a little bit.
Yeah. You got to explain cover 3. Everybody don't understand that, Boss Cowboy. You got to bring a diagram.
I'm going to just say zone intelligence and leave it like that.
yeah, just leave it like that.
But anyway, but we getting back to this Nashon Wright thing, bro. This is going to be interesting. And it's interesting for a lot of reasons. Because we still didn't talk about Boss Man. Got to talk about Boss Man, too. All right?
The Boss Man signed. Happy about that.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. I was honestly saying if we got 3 people as instant impact players out this draft, we killed it. We might get 4.
Yeah.
Might get 5.
Yeah, you might.
Because if Wright end up being at least starter potential or that's 1, Boss 2.
Rotation.
Yeah. Boss 2, he go play.
Mm-hmm.
Then obviously Parsons, we talked about the 4-3 under with him, and that fit him like a glove. We might review that a little bit later. Then obviously you're going to have to play Quentin, then Cox. Like, say, man, if you can get 5, oh my, say. So we got some interesting battles that we got to talk about. I want to talk about another one, though. You had something else on that?
No, man, I just love the competition, right? I love the competition in key positions, right? Because all this is pushing everybody to play well, man. And this is the nature and the culture of a good football team. So I think the Cowboys, like I said, way back on draft night, they're going in the right direction because now you're creating competition. Because if you don't play well, we got somebody that can play corner. Now, they may not be as good as you or whatever you may think, but they can play. If you're not playing good at safety, we got somebody that can play safety. Right, we got some options here. You're not getting the job done on that defensive line. Guess what? We got some depth now. We can throw in the rookies in there. We can get somebody that'll give us some energy on that defensive line. So I love the ideal of a competitive environment and it driving the best performance out of the players on that team.
Yeah, man. Hey, can you expound that just a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, here's the whole deal, man. When you think about, right, Nashon Wright, right, and you think about, we haven't even really talked about the veterans and like the growth of the veterans, like Stephon Diggs, right, being solidified in his corner position, right. We're talking about Boss Man Fat. We're talking about Wright. We haven't even got a chance to talk about Israel, who's also been noted to make a couple big plays from the safety position, converted corner based on what the Cowboys want to do with him right now, converting him to safety, making some plays playing there as well. So, I mean, when you got all that in the secondary, which was, as we discussed and everybody knows, a big issue, and then you add in the young talent, you add in Osam, and you add in Golson, you add in my big baby boy from Kentucky. So you add him into the mix along with the veterans. Then you have Gallimore. You got You got, I'm losing his name now. Tristan Hill, there he is. Yeah. You got him in the mix as well. So when you're doing all that, right, you're creating an environment where you got a bunch of young players, but you have the environment where everyone is going to compete for snaps, right? And that's the culture that you want. And that was really what it brings to mind. Not saying that we're here yet. In Seattle, they used to have something called Competition Wednesdays because they had depth, they had talent. So you had to show up and play very, very well in the practices before the games, and that will determine your playing time. That will determine how much run you will get in that game. And I think that that's the ideal culture for the Cowboys, at least defensively, where you go get the best out of these players. What you think about that, Boss Cowboy?
No, I definitely feel you on that. And because you brought up the veterans. Mm-hmm. So we talked about the young guys. We still see them sitting right there. There's other stuff that came out that's outside of Boss Man and Wright, okay? Mm-hmm. And that's this rumor that we keep hearing that Anthony Brown is the starting corner and Jordan Lewis is the nickel. So that's where I got a little bit over my toes a little bit when I was talking about I fully drunk the Dan Quinn Kool-Aid. Mm-hmm. Because this is where I took the offseason job that he was doing and I moved it to an A-. It was more so because I really want to get your perspective on this, brother. Mm-hmm. It was more so because it seems clear to me that Anthony Brown is better on the inside and Jordan Lewis played pretty good on the outside. So that's the only place to where I still have an issue, because if you go still obviously give your veteran guys a shot, I still want those guys at the place to where they seem to where they'll make the most plays. And yes, we do want to not quit on our players and all that kind of stuff. I've been on record saying that I want to go with the younger guys over Anthony Brown. But if you go roll him out, why not roll him out to the place to where he does decent, not the place to where he's cooked? Am I tripping?
Well, Well, no, you're not tripping, but that's the reason why they drafted Boss Man Fat. That goes back to the rookies because here's the end of the day conversation, right? We brought in the defensive cornerback coach from the Browns. Okay, he's the passing game coordinator, right?
Right.
So his job is to put together the best combinations and to fix the problems of that secondary, right? He's second in command pretty much to Dan Quinn. Okay, so, and he's a McCarthy guy. So we know that, hey, it's going to be a competitive environment. And this is my thought on the situation. Anthony Brown, based on seniority and based on game experience, may get the first nod. But if he is getting toasted, it's going to be a sub for him. That's my feeling from what I see with all the different combinations and what I hear from all the combinations that's going on during these OTAs. It's not going to be a situation to where you getting cooked and you stay in that game. I don't see it because you got young, hungry Lions that were drafted in positions that they can play. Now, to your point about Jordan Lewis is a guy that can play slot or outside. And I'm a Jordan Lewis fan. I think Jordan Lewis is a dog because I love his competitive spirit. I love how he fights no matter who he's playing against, and he's shown the ability to make big plays. So I'm down with that. And so here's the whole deal. Shout out to Buddha. I see you, man. You said they drafted Boss Man Wright. The plot to get Brown out of here. Yeah, I think he gets a nod. Agree with that point. But if he sucks win at all, I think he's gonna be standing on that sideline, or he may get put on those waivers, unfortunately.
So basically, we sit in a situation where he fighting for his job, and he, because I think I still don't like it because it's almost like you setting him up to fail, in my opinion. Because there's an old adage on the outside. He get cooked out there.
Yeah, but Boss Cowboy, there's an old adage in corporate America. People have performance improvement plans, right? They call PEPs, right? They put you on PEPs, right? You mess up, put you on a PEP plan, right? Then you get a second write-up, Boss Cowboy. Then after that, you get your third write-up. Then they call HR, they bring you in there, and all of a sudden you have a conversation. Well, you know how that conversation go. They have a brown cardboard box by your desk, man. You're fired, man. You're out of here, man. So this is the process, man, that they're going through with him. This is exactly what they're doing, I'm telling you. And so the adage is give them enough rope to hang themselves, right? So he's going to have every opportunity being the former starter and not being a rookie. These young guys supposed to be learning from him. But if they come out and clearly outperform him, trust me, it's going to be a situation, not a situation. Man. A situation. And you know what a situation is? A situation is a situation that got out of control. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they going off in the comments, man. I'm loving all these comments, man. My boy Nick in the building, he said, yes, he fighting for his job and talk that talk.
100.
And then Terrence Artis said, Dan Quinn ain't putting up with no nonsense. I got to see the discipline side of Dan Quinn before I give him that. You know what I mean? I got to see him show, right? Because I think we got to get to games first to say that part. I'm with you, Terrence, and I hope you right.
I hope you're right, too.
But we got to be tested, that thought, and that got to be tested with a guy that we know should be benched on defense.
Well, here's why I like Terrence's thought. Because Dan Quinn just got fired as the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, and immediately, before he can unpack his bags, at his house when he cleaned out his office, he gets the DC job for the largest franchise, the most popular franchise in the world. Right? Mm-hmm. So to me, thank God. They threw you a life raft. They threw you a career life raft. This is a career life raft for Dan Quinn. And he will be foolish to let anyone mess this up. This is what we call a business decision. So I love what Terrence said. I think that this right here, these things are business decisions, and it's no friendships or kinships. It's put up or shut up. And if Dan Quinn's not thinking like that, I don't understand why not.
Look at this. Nathaniel Johnson with the conspiracy theory. Mm-hmm. This is a good one, though. I like it. He said, It's a setup because Cowboys want players who can wear different shoes. Why not put him where he lacks skills to force him to improve there?
when once you get to what and I don't want to be wrong
That's
about
not
this.
a bad conspiracy theory, but he's just
well,
optimistic for Anthony Brown.
Yeah, listen, and obviously you like Anthony Brown, and that's cool. All right,
He might not like him. He just may be raising the counterpoint.
Okay, he's raising the counterpoint. Seems like you might like him. If you don't like him, that's cool. I'm gonna be real neutral with this. Isn't this Anthony Brown's fourth or fifth year? Right? Is this fifth year? Fifth year. Okay, so by year 5, how can I put this nice? You are what you are. Yes. By year 5. 3. Right? No, I'm extrapolating out. Okay, yeah, I agree with you, boss cowboy. I'm gonna say you are what you are. So if you've been getting beat consistently by year 5, then I can have a reasonable expectation that you go do some of the same things, and nothing against Anthony Brown. I'm just going by pattern, right? Because nobody gives you 5 years in a normal job to get your feet wet, not for the same position, right? They'll give you grace when they promote you, right? So that you can understand a new role, but he's playing the exact same position. All right, Nathaniel, he's clarifying. I don't like him. Okay, cool. So Nathaniel, I mean, here's the deal. I think he's playing for his life, and he has to really perform well, put up or shut up, man, or he's gonna be a rotational guy, or he'll be standing over there next to the coaches.
Yeah. So I want to let out a couple of more things that have been standing out because, we talked. I want to kind of go through this just a little bit. All right, just real quick, very brief. We talked about what Dan Quinn is doing, all right? And we definitely believe in it, all right? We go just kind of go through it just a little bit. So we talked about Dan Quinn's super team with the 4-3 under, all right? So one of the things that he coached the 4-3 under with Pete Carroll, and we went through that heavily, that's a staple of Seattle epically, and Pete Carroll called it the 4-3 under principle. So one thing about that is don't think of the 4-3 under in absolutes. You got to look at it in its principles, and you got to see what pieces fit. Quinn now has the chess pieces to dominate with the 4-3 under and create massive pressure. So we went through that yesterday. What I love is he's keeping his promise to fit the scheme to the talent. Okay. So when you look at Micah, we talked about him on week 1, which we painted the picture showing through Danny McCray and Barry Church what the first week is like, which is basically very basic installs of the basics. So that's where we saw them having him play middle linebacker. But by minicamp, they upped it where he was playing the middle Sam and the wheel. But we broke down that the Sam linebacker is more of a rusher, right? So Gregory, the same thing, which we proved yesterday that they doing the exact same thing with him, where they was moving him around to the Leo or the edge and the Sam under the 4-3 under, right? So going through all of that, obviously your defensive ends become epically important. And again, if you missed the show from yesterday, go watch it, bro. It's one of those things that's going to open some people's eyes about our potential because of the massive amount of talent that we have, from linebackers with Micah to the ideal wheel in a 4-3 under with Neil to Gregory to Tank. That defense puts it all together, okay? But there are other guys, OC, that we not discussing that's flashing, okay? That's also just important. That's also been talked about and whispered about and being slept on a little bit. So we want to kind of show that and then also talk about that. All right, here we go.
Other crowded rooms in the front 7. Edge rusher, linebacker. With edge rusher specifically, I think this is going to be really fun. Tank and Gregory And then what? A cluster after that? Dorrance Armstrong, Bradley and I, Terrell Basham, Brent Urban,
Chauncey
Golston.
Yeah, Chauncey Golston is a name
Yikes, that's a lot
that
of
you got
players.
to watch for. And I think Basham, they brought in Basham, and a lot of people kind of like, what's going on? You know, why would they make that, guy that's kind of unproven, high draft pick, hadn't shown it. But his energy and his ability to, you see it being there. And I think if they could coach this guy up, and if he can get around some of these veteran guys and emulate some of what they do, and we don't want to emulate everything from last season, but I'm just saying, some of those, he is a guy that is going 100 miles per hour all the time. And if you're a guy going 100 miles per hour and you don't have the moves in your wheelhouse, you get stuck, right? You're stuck in the mud mid-move. Those are some of the things that he has to cultivate, but he could be someone that pushes another guy, maybe a Dorrance Armstrong, maybe a Bradley, Kyle.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I know you don't, but Bradley looked good.
Okay.
Bradley looked like he's gained some
that.
weight.
Yeah.
He looks more explosive. I think those are the things that happen to a guy in his second year in the league.
Did he gain a couple inches on his arms?
He did not.
Oh man, how you gonna do my boy now like that?
Other crowded rooms in the front seven.
Hold on real quick,
Edge
baby.
rusher, linebacker. With edge rusher specifically, I think this is going to be really fun. Tank and Gregory. And then what? A cluster after that? Dorrance Armstrong, Bradley and I, Terrell Basham, Brent Urban,
Chauncey Golston.
Yeah.
Chauncey Golston is a name
Yikes, that's a lot
that
of
you got to
players.
watch for. And I think
Interesting. Very interesting.
Very interesting. So the guy that keep buzzing and you keep hearing about him over and over and over is Basham. What's your thoughts
We did a
on
tape
that,
on
OC?
him. We did
do a
on
tape on
Basham.
him. Yes, we
And
did.
we said that he's long, he's raw, he has a really good motor, right? And so you like effort guys, man. Now, is he a skilled pass rusher? No. It'll be interesting to see if they can help him with his skills. But he's a quick guy. He's long. He really plays well off of blocks and extending his arms and stabbing and disengaging from offensive linemen. And he's a chase down type guy. He's an effort guy. He's a hustle guy. And he's young. He's only, I believe, 24 years old. So he's young. So he has some play to him, and he can actually make some plays if given the opportunity, man. I like him as a rotational backup or supplemental starter if he needs to be. And I thought that was a good signing going into the draft, actually, and the 4-3 front. So,
And another person that they not discussing, man, is my boy Nah. But looking at these edges, man, and looking at her not going into year 2, yeah, and see, they let out the bag, man. Anai is bigger as well as faster, and people not talking about them boys, man. Like, it's now the Cowboys have been talking about them, but the fans ain't talking about them. Now, it's hard to talk about them because their positions need pads, but I'm thinking we also, OC, just kind of bringing this out here, just saying this early, I think both of those guys go flash. Our second team D-ends go ball too.
yeah, man, and I think this is a do or die for Armstrong, right? So he has to flash this year. He needs to flash, right? I think that for a 9, man, he had the potential, had 12, 13 sacks, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Coming out of Utah, played very, very well, was a Pac-10, I believe, first team all Pac-10, Pac-12 guy, excuse me, and has really good pass rushing skills. So if he's faster and he's stronger, I look for him to have more of an impact in terms of actually getting to that quarterback than most of these guys, man. I'll go on record of saying that because I like his game a whole lot.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people not talking about that, man, and I really see that as the next thing for sure that's coming. And because his name has been buzzing a whole lot. But hey, we go take a couple of more comments, man, real quick. I like Yeah, we gotta comment real quick. Let me take this comment. So, let me see this comment real quick. So let me see. All right, here we go. We got the comment in here now. All right, so only thing about it now is I just want to see the mold on the field. Wish he got some burn last season. Yeah, let me see. And then I want to get your thoughts on this one too. OC.
Yeah, Anad does not fit the length profile. He is not a Quinn guy. Yeah, he is not a Quinn guy, but he's explosive off the edge, and he turns and dips very, very well. And he's a draft pick. So the hierarchy on how this thing normally goes is veterans, draft picks, and free agents. All right, so thank you, Pastor Douglas, for that clarification. I knew that he had some good accolades coming out of Utah. So here's the whole deal about Anai. And this will talk to Geechee's and also Buddha's point. He has to get a look, right? You can't say he doesn't fit until he gets a look. And so look for Anai and Basham. And look for these guys because they have to. They're backups. They're going to get heavy run in the preseason. And if they are making plays in the preseason and they are disruptive in the preseason, I'm telling you, these guys will be going to be rotational guys, possible jet package guys, and they're going to get some run going into this coming season. Anai is only a second-year guy. He's a rookie on a 4-year deal. He's going to get some opportunities to make some plays, regardless if he's a Quinn guy or not, because of where they drafted him and because of his skill set.
So check this. Like, I feel like Anai doesn't fit anybody's ideal defensive end.
And I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah,
I care if you
it's
make
no
plays.
system to where his measurables fit.
Right.
But
right.
he has a Hendrickson smell. I hope I got his name right. The defensive end out of New Orleans that put up like 12 sacks. He exactly the same. Built bad, short arms, but he was a sack guy in college.
Cameron Jordan, you talking about?
No,
you're talking about Hendrickson. The guy opposite of Jordan. Okay,
right.
That's what you're talking about. Yeah, I got you. I got you.
He was a sack guy in college. He's a sack guy in the league. You know what I mean? Generally, sacks generally translate. And one thing about Anai that I saw, he has very mature pass rush moves. Very. Like, I've always admired those football players that was unathletic but still good football players. You know what I mean?
Right,
where they didn't have the athleticism, but they was technicians. They studied. They did everything to gain the edge, and it worked. You know what I mean? Keyword, technician. Yeah.
Anai plays with really good technique. He plays with bend. He plays with leverage. He plays with being able to disengage from blocks. And here's the thing. Regardless of what people say about his athleticism, if you look at him, what he does very, very well is he does something that offensive linemen hate. He closes to the quarterback. In other words, when he gets a little bit of a step on that offensive lineman, he gets faster. He closes quick to the quarterback. So if he gets a little bit of airspace, man, he's getting up on that quarterback really, really quick in terms of how fast he closes out the show. And so that translates to the NFL.
Yeah. And so Geechee said the same thing. If you sack in college, usually you're getting sack in the pros. And that's the logic I'm thinking too. That's the logic I'm thinking is he does not fit. I agree with that. He does not fit the ideal defensive end at all. But some people are just football players and they do everything within their power, and I like the reports that I'm hearing. That's why, we talked about the flash stuff yesterday. We talked about the stuff that's super exciting yesterday, but now we're talking about the steaks and potatoes on the plate. Because eventually, if you're going to have a rotating defense, right, you got to also depend on your second team defensive ends, bro.
Yeah. They got to show up, man.
They got to show
They got to
up.
show up. They got to show up. You got to get productivity from. You got to have depth. The best teams have depth, and so that's what the Cowboys are trying to create is depth. So you got to be able to get some productivity from your second team defensive lineman or whoever your second team is. When they're in the game, they can't just be pushovers. They got to be productive, and I think that we're headed in that direction.
Right. And Pastor Douglas with an excellent point. He said, Anah reminds me of TJ Watt. Doesn't have the measurables, but his motor's high. But I think TJ had excellent measurables. But at the same time, I get your point, though. Like,
yeah. TJ had excellent measurables, excellent 40, excellent
had everything.
225. Yeah, but to your point, Anai has a fantastic motor. To your point.
Yeah. And see, some football players break the mold in a different, crazy way. Like
Right.
Orlando Brown, when he totally was boo-boo on his combine. Just pathetic. But his tape was truly first-round tape.
Yeah.
I got stuck, bro. I got stuck because he whooped the snot out of baby Bosa. Now, he didn't just win. He whooped the full
Annihilated him.
snot. My boy Matt in the building. What's up, man?
What's up, Matt? Yeah, well, look, Orlando Brown, you got to remember, Orlando Brown is prodigy, right? His father was a Pro Bowler for the Raiders, okay?
Yeah.
So he's second-generation league offensive tackle. So you got to always bear that in mind if you talk about the Bosa brothers, well, their dad played for the Dolphins,
Right.
all right? They're second-generation league players.
I was making
right?
another point, though. I ain't trying to
So
throw you off.
no. I know you was making another point. I'm gonna bring it home in a second.
Okay, cool.
So here's the thing. And this is what the OC always says, if the workout is boo-boo, trust the tape. If the workout doesn't match, if you gotta pick one, right? And the workout doesn't go as well as you like, and then you look at the tape and then he plays real great, I'm gonna trust the tape. That's what I'm going to do. So Orlando Brown, and he's proved in the league, man, played very, very well. Just got a big, fat new contract. So.
Right. And so that was my whole case on measurables versus tape. You know what I mean? And it's because I really got stuck. I said, all the numbers say if you perform that bad at a combine, you go stink. But his tape said he real good. I saw him bully baby Bosa. The tape won. So that's kind of could be a nah. You know what I mean? The world. You know, I'm gonna stick to going with tape on certain positions. On certain things, I can't go with just tape. You know what I'm saying? Like corner, if you run a 4.7,
you're not gonna translate as a good DB in the league. No,
I
you
don't
just
care.
not, because the dudes are just too fast.
Yeah, they too fast. But
They too
tackles, defensive ends, sometimes even slow receivers.
Yeah, if they're great route runners.
Yes, Jerry Rice. People don't know Jerry Rice was a 4.6.
Yeah, 4.6, 40, absolutely, all day long.
Yeah, so we getting some good comments, man. But yeah, we having a late night. He said, he's talking to Terrence. But yeah, man. Hey, I'm finna go ahead and close it out, man. I'm you know me, man. I get kind of sleepy early, but we definitely want to come in a day later and acknowledge a lot of the love, especially that happened from the show from yesterday. And I'm glad you're in the building, Matt, because we definitely appreciate you starting, the movement, because it was a lot of questions out there. It was a lot of questions about what was going on with the linebackers, and I really appreciate the whole family of people that come together to help create content. And it happens from us talking, it happens from us debating, it happens from us sometimes even fighting. OC, did you have anything on that, bro?
No, man, listen, man, we appreciate everybody supporting. And remember, like, share, subscribe. Cut on your bell notification icons on Facebook, YouTube, and also on Instagram, man, so you can get the latest and greatest in Cowboys news and coverage. If you do want to support us in any way, we appreciate any contributions to the Cash App, $Boss Cowboy Sports. And by next week, for sure, man, we'll have the Patreon up and running, man. We'll give you guys some people that want to join it. You'll get some special insight tapes. Even we'll do a show for you, private show for you, all that stuff. So that stuff will be coming up real soon, man, and appreciate the support.
And yeah, man, and I really mean this, save the show from yesterday. It's not just because it's one of the best shows. It's a show that you will really, I think, see what's going on the field. I think it's going to help you see what's going on the field, and a lot of people follow us because they want the knowledge and the experience of us playing mixed with the, the scheme stuff. I think that's what we both bring to the podcast community on a pretty decent level, So I definitely want to say that. And then obviously I appreciate everybody that, gave us a very high quality endorsement. I want to say that one last time. We got, my boy Bluff kicked it off. Then Tuck came in the building. Matt Owens was the one who sparked the whole thought. But we're a community, and as a podcast community, what I love about us is we stick together. But not in a bopper way. You feel me, OC? Like, we fight and debate hard, but then when we get a good idea, we get behind it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
we all
man.
get behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So,
like, sometimes we divide it like pits. It was a Pitts train, then it was a Pitts anti-train.
Yeah.
It was a Cox to safety train, then it was a Cox, hell no, please don't say it again, train.
Right, absolutely.
But the family came together on this one. It's good to see. And I'm happy that Dan Quinn doing this. Very happy. So, yeah, man. Final words. For real this time. For real.
No, man. Boss Cowboy Sports, man. Like, share, subscribe, comment. And don't forget to share these videos if you enjoy the content. We'll see you later.
We'll see you all the way later as I find this button to get out. All right. Y'all take it easy. Much love.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. Boss Cowboy Sports.